Narita Boy! Narita Boy is an indie 2D retro-inspired action-adventure game. You play as Narita Boy wielding the techno sword in this very broadly 80s-inspired game that permeates everything from the story to the art style to the gameplay mechanics. Taking my time, it took about 9 hours to beat it, playing it through gamepass on PC, where it is available along with the Xbox consoles. The art style looks great, using a mix of creative pixelated graphics along with modern graphics and effects. It's on the other end stylistically of games like Ori and The Will of the Wisps. Other nice touches with the tracking bleeding over on the screen in this tube TV looking format. Story is well done, keeps you engaged throughout the entirety of the game. It follows the life of the creator of the console Narita Boy in post-World War II Japan, while at the same time the character you're playing is his son in the digital kingdom. The gameplay mechanics keep you engaged enough by drip-feeding new abilities over the course of the game that you might see in other metroidvanias. What sets Narita Boy apart is the art style, story, and mechanics being all successfully really immersed in this 80s nostalgia they're going for, where other games often just stick to one or two or a couple of these aspects, not comprehensively or taking them too seriously. Apart from the 80s nostalgia thing and a well-done story, there's not much else. As for gameplay mechanics, you're using some of the new moves the game introduces here and there, but most of the time you don't need to or otherwise even forget to use them in combat, like the ground slam or the samurai slash. Also, it isn't really a metroidvania. There are different regions to explore, like the different color houses with some backtracking, but the backtracking is mostly limited to the separate regions that you are locked in, while these regions are more like levels themselves. You usually teleport or drop into somewhere that you can't leave until completing all the tasks in whatever particular area you're in. Not necessarily a big deal or something you may want, but if you're looking for a distinguishing feature gameplay-wise like this or the combat, it's really all about the 80s nostalgia. If you're all in on the 80s theme or just looking for a good indie game story, this is a buy. Quality and direction-wise, it's good across the board. If you don't care about these two things, the $25 price tag is a bit steep, but this is still easily worth a rent through Game Pass. Although it's a very well done game, some will drop off over the course of the game once the 80s nostalgia or appreciation wears off, while still for some others, once they notice the lack of serious Metroidvania elements, they may opt out too. Like, dislike, subscribe, or don't, and I'll see ya. Narita Boy!